A very good morning to you. How are you doing? I hope that you're well, that you had an amazing day kutoka tulipoachana hapa jana, and that you've had an amazing night, you've slept well, and you thank the Lord for yet another day. See, Sema, if you see another morning, another day, it means that God has given you an opportunity to do exactly what He wants. So it is up to you to know what is His will for you. Ndio usianze siku unafanya tu chenye unataka. It must be something that is aligned by what He wants. Alright, so karibuni sana. This is MBCI TV ambapo tunabadilisha maisha by the grace of God, and my name is Kahugu. Tutakuwa hapa mpaka pale 10 in the AM. An amazing day to be here because, as I said yesterday, today we're going to be having an amazing topic of discussion because Mpox imekuwa ni an arising issue, and many people are asking, Mpox ni nini? Is it treatable? Watu wanaambukizwa aje? And today we'll be having a Dr. Elizabeth Kipto, who's the Director of Public Health and Sanitation, Department of Health Services in Nakuru, and atakuwa kijibu maswali yote. So if you have any question about Mpox, this is the day to ask. All right? You will get all the answers that you need. But before we get there, tutakuwa tukianza na B4J, Billboard for Jesus, so that you will get to know what are we having on the Billboard for Jesus today, so that as you post on your status, ukipost kila mahali, we will make Jesus known, because that is our mandate. After that, tutakuwa tukiingia ndani ya the daily updates, so that even as you pray for your country, as we pray for our country, we know what we are praying for. So we'll be getting some, today it will be a little bit different. We'll be getting 3 news from Kenya and 1 from outside Kenya. And then after that, we'll be getting the Tegasikio, which will be really short but informative. And this Tegasikio, I know it's going to be really amazing because you're going to learn something from it. And then after that, of course, you're going to be getting into the topic of discussion, as I've said, and our guest is already here with us. So I know it's going to be very informative. Don't miss out. After that, sasa tutakuwa tukiingia ndani ya the today's inspiration and the amazing songs of the day. Karibuni sana. Tutakuwa tukianza sasa na B4J, so that ndani ya Billboard for Jesus you get to know what we have. All right? Your WhatsApp, WhatsApp ama pale Facebook, and of course you can always post it on your social media. And today it says that glory and honor are before Him, strength and joy are in His dwelling place. All right, 1 Chronicles 16:27. So that is what we get today, of course, ndani ya B4J, or rather Billboard for Jesus. All right, now we'll be getting into the daily update, so that we'll get to see what is happening in your country and beyond. We said, even as you pray, you need to know what you are praying for. So we get into the daily updates. So we are getting 3 news updates from Kenya, and then 1 from outside Kenya. Okay. So on to our very first news item today is that long queues were on Tuesday night, or rather yesterday night, witnessed at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as aviation workers formally donned their tools in protest against the proposed leasing of Kenya's largest airport to the Indian Adani Group. Videos and photos circulating online showed long queues and stranded passengers at the airport due to the impact of workers' slow service. The workers have been very vocal in their opposition to the lease, vowing to paralyze operations until their concerns are addressed. They have accused the government of failing to observe legal protocols for public participation and stakeholder management in the decision-making process. Additionally, the workers have expressed their concerns that the lease could result in job losses, claiming that Adani plans to take over ground handling services and reduce the workforce. The Kenya Human Rights Commission and the Law Society of Kenya (LSK) filed the case, arguing that the lease was not only irrational but also violated the principles of good governance, transparency and accountability, adding that Kenya could raise these funds independently without surrendering control of JKIA for 3 decades. The aviation workers also called for the resignation of the Kenya Airport Authority Board of Directors and 3 senior managers, accusing them of incompetence and mishandling of the deal. Moving on swiftly onto our second news item today is that searching for son 5 days after the Endarasha hillside tragedy is continuing. Angeline Wamboi, a mother of the 11-year-old Robinson Theory, a grade 6 pupil at Endarasha Hillside Academy, is still in distress after 5 days after the fire at the school claimed the lives of 21 boys. The son's whereabouts remains unknown. Wamboi's hope hinges on the account of one of her son's classmates who has repeatedly confirmed that Theory was saved alongside him and directed to one of the classrooms at the school before the classmate left with his mother. Despite her smile, Wamboi is hurting. She spent most of yesterday, or rather Tuesday, visiting hospitals in Nyeri County searching for her son, despite the government announcements that all pupils have been accounted for. Wamboi has also presented herself for DNA testing, having traveled all the way from Mombasa, where she resides. If her son is found to be among the 19 children whose bodies are at the Narumoru Level 5 morgue when the autopsy is performed on the remains on Wednesday, Angeline says it will be hard to believe, as she was informed that he was among who were rescued. In the same breath is that a fire incident has been reported at Isiolo Boys yesterday evening. In a statement, the Red Cross said that a response team has been activated. The cause of the fire is still yet to be known. This comes in the wake of fire outbreaks in schools across the country. Fire at Isiolo Boys comes barely 3 days after another fire incident was reported at Isiolo Girls High School. The incident also came days after the fire at Hillside Endarasha Academy in Nyeri killed 21 pupils. Investigators are still pursuing the matter to find out the cause of the fire. President William Ruto on Monday held a meeting with the leaders from the Interior and the Education Ministries. Ruto ordered a speedy conclusion of the investigation into the Hillside Endarasha Academy fire tragedy. The president directed the 2 ministries to ensure compliance with school boarding regulations. Ruto declared a 3-day national mourning period following the death of pupils at Hillside Endarasha Academy, and he further directed that the Kenyan and the EAC flags would be flown at half-mast during the mourning period. The flags will be flown half-mast from dawn on Monday, 9th of September 2024, until sunset on Wednesday, today, September 11th, 2024. And on to our international news. Today we'll be looking at the Somalia's Minister of Defense, Abdul Kadir Mohamed Noor, has cautioned the President of Southwest State, Abdi Aziz, over the support of the deployment of Ethiopian troops into the country. In a statement, the minister said that the people of West State would never be subjected to the authority of a historical enemy. His remarks followed the comment by the Southwest State President praising members of parliament who voiced their support for his people in their opposition to the removal of the Ethiopian forces from the region and the potential deployment of the Egyptian troops. The defense ministers stressed that the crucial responsibility that Somali leaders have towards the future generations to ensure the legacy of a united, free Somalia with secure resources. He reminded the MPs from the Southwest State of the honor associated with the offices that they hold. This comes even as the federal government of Somalia continues to seek withdrawal of all Ethiopian troops from its territories. The two countries have been at loggerheads since Ethiopia signed an MOU with the breakaway region Somaliland to lease their port for 50 years. Somalia insists the Somaliland is part of its territory and that the agreement is illegal. So that is what we get today on the daily updates. But of course, for more news, you'll be getting them on MBCI Radio, where we have an amazing team right there that is ready to present the news to you. For now, we'll be getting into the Tega Sikio, a very short one, as I said before, but you're going to really learn from it. So let's get into the Tega Sikio of the day. All right, and now we get into the Tega Sikio of the day. We said it's a very short one because we need to learn, and we also need to get into the topic of discussion today because, as I said before, Elizabeth Kipto is already here with us, and she is the Director of Public Health and Sanitation in Nakuru, yeah? And today we'll be talking about Mpox. So any question that you have regarding Mpox, today, utakuwa unapata jibu. But in today's Tega Sikio, we're looking at this young man, aged around 25, yeah? So he's a young man mwenye alimaliza high school na kaenda campus, akafanya teaching, and after amefanya teaching, he's among the people who God blessed. So hakutamak. Akafanya teaching na akapata shule. And now he starts teaching. So he's a teacher na ni mwalimu wa maths. Hello? So ni mwalimu wa maths in this particular school. And amekuwa kipendwa sana with the students wa klasi yake because he's such a nice teacher. For the reports ya wanafunzi wake, he's a teacher wenye students wana relate na yeye mpaka watu wanaanza kupenda maths, and like most of us, so wanafunzi wake wanapenda maths sana. So on this particular day, it happens that kuna a friend of this teacher, tumuite Mark, kuna a friend of teacher Mark mwenye anawed a lady. And so teacher Mark decides, kwa sababu ni Saturday, siniende tu hii wedding, and of course ni beshte yangu, so siwezi miss. And now they were teachers, so rafiki ya teacher Mark pia alikuwa mwalimu, and so akaenda kwa harusi, and of course tunajua sisi wote vile harusi yukuwa, wakafika nini, kuna ile preaching, alafu akavalishwa pete, and of course they were all happy. Akina bibi harusi wakaenda reception, wakaenda photo session. Of course bibi harusi akaenda photo session, wengine raia wanabaki reception. Na sasa mkibaki reception, what you do ni mna dance, mnakula, mnajibamba. Hii ndio inakuanga ile time ya muhidhi, yeah? Yes, so after wamekuwa hiyo time ya reception, and teacher Mark is there of course with other friends, wanajibamba, wana dance, wanakula, and now they're waiting for the bride arudi from the photo session so that they will have ile time ya kukata keki and all that. So ita me reception, Mark anaangalia mahali kwa kiti kwa kona, anashangaa huyu mzee mbona anakaa familia. Some very old man, an old man vizuri. So akauliza beshte yake, ule mzae ni nani na mbona anakaa hivyo familia? Beshte yake akamwambia, huyo ndo ni baba msichana. Right? Huyo ndio ni baba msichana. So Mark akaamua, let me just go say hi. Mark kukaribia, anakuta huyu ni mwalimu wake from primary school. And Mark was so happy. Apparently, they have a history. So Mark akaambia mwalimu wake, mwalimu unanikumbuka? Of course, mwalimu by the time ana retire amefunza wanafunzi kama 1 million. Hakukumbuki, plus ukiwa primary na sahi they're two totally different people. Huyu alikuwa very young boy, right now he's a man, he's a teacher. So kidogo hata memory inakataa because already huyu ni mwalimu mwenye ameretire. So Mark akamwambia, probably haunikumbuki, but just to let you know, ulinifunza nikiwa primary school. And there is something you did that really changed my life. Unakumbuka ile siku, kuna mtu alikuwa amepoteza watch yake kwa klasi yetu. And it was a very beautiful watch. A very beautiful watch. Na sasa akakuja kwa staff room. Akakwambia kuna mtu amemuibia watch kwa class. And he was really crying. So akakuja naye kwa klasi yetu na ukaanza kutafuta watch. So akatuambia sisi wote tusimame. But apparently ni mimi nilikuwa nimeiba hiyo watch. So vile ulituambia tusimame, I was really shocked. Nilikuwa ninajua mimi already nishaaibika kwa sababu imagine mimi ndo nakwanga nilikuwa, so Maka naambia mwalimu nilikuanga of course top 3 kwa hiyo class. Watu walikuwa wanani respect sana kwa sababu pia nilikuwa prefect. But for some reason tabia mbaya tu nikaamua tu nikaiba hii watch because it was really beautiful. So nilikuwa najua lazima utaniseti siku. So katuambia sisi wote tusimame na ukaanza kusearch from ule wa kwanza. So unakuja unashika kwa mifuko hivi, unasikia kama kuna watch hivyo unaenda. So vile ulinifikia kuguza mfuko yangu ukasikia niko na watch. But there is something you did enye ilikuwa very shocking. Ulitoa tu watch ukashika na hata hakuna mtu mwenye alijua umeitoa kwa mfuko yangu na ukaendelea kusearch. Ukaendelea kusearch mpaka mwisho, alafu ukatuambia sisi wote tukae chini. After tumekaa chini ukaenda pale mbele ukasema umepata watch na ukarudishia mwenyewe. But you didn't mention my name. Haukusema ni mimi. And you knew very well ni mimi nilikuwa nimeiba. So by hiyo time aki-explain, mwalimu ashakumbuka. Ako like, okay. And Mark anamwambia yes. So there is no one who knew ni mimi nilikuwa nimeiba. Because hata walimu kwa staff room, sikuwa isikia mwalimu yote akiongelea hiyo story. And no one in our class alijua ni mimi nilikuwa nimeiba. And I was really shocked that you did that. And nilibaki nikishangaa, why did you do that? But it really changed my perspective. Nikajiambia, sometimes I might know that someone is wrong, but si lazima nimwaibishe. Ama mtu ako na weakness fulani, but si lazima nimwaibishe. So hiyo siku nikaamua, I really cried and I talked to God. Nikaambia God, I want to be a good human being like my teacher. And I decided that I will be a teacher and I will be a good teacher so that I will touch the lives of other people. Mwalimu akamwangalia tu na tumacho hivi, of course yote imeshazeeka. Akamwambia, Mark, kumbe ni wewe ulikuwa umeiba hiyo watch. Hata mimi sikujua ni wewe umeiba. And Mark was just shocked. Akamuuliza, what do you mean? Mwalimu akamwambia, you know, hata mimi nikitafuta hiyo watch, nilikuwa natafuta kama nimefunga macho. Kwa sababu sikutaka nione any student as a thief. Because ingechange perspective yangu kuona huyo mwanafunzi kama mwanafunzi, nianze kumuona wewe ni mwizi, nini. Imagine kama ningejua wewe ndio ulikuwa mwizi. So I didn't even know, kama haungeniambia leo, wewe ndio mwenye uliiba hiyo watch, singewahi jua. Yes. And they were both shocked. But it is a lesson that both of them walilearn from that story, from that incident ya Mark akiwa primary school. And that is the incident yenye ilifanya Mark today ni mwalimu, na ni mwalimu kwa sababu alitaka kukuwa mwalimu mzuri kama ule mwalimu wake. Na umesikia tukianza nilikwambiaje, wanafunzi wake wanampenda sana. He's such a good teacher. Yep. So, from that tega sikio, what lesson are you picking? From story ya Mark na incidents ya Mark na mwalimu wake. What is it that you're picking there? Now, we'll be taking a very short break so that nikupe time ya kuifikiria vizuri na kutuma feedback yako. Utuambie what you're learning from the same. But of course, for now, tutakuwa tunaenda for a very short break. Alafu tukirudi, we'll be coming back to talk about Mpox with Dr. Elizabeth. Of course, our numbers ziko very open. 0721105105 on WhatsApp. 23814, our SMS code, which is absolutely free. Of course, you're live on Facebook and you're live on YouTube. So feel free to send in your messages. Feel free to tell us anything that you want to tell us in regards to the Tega Sikio that we've just had, or any question that you'd want to ask about Mpox. So a very short break, and then we'll be coming right back. Usiende mbali.
Happy birthday! Get a chance to celebrate your loved one's birthday this Saturday on Happy Kids Show from 9:30 all the way to 10:30 a.m. Send in your photo, age, date of your birthday, and your birthday message on our WhatsApp line at 0721 105 105, and we will surely make your day memorable.
Happy birthday!
Happy, happy, happy turnings! Get ready for non-stop adventures and lots of fun! Each episode is packed with engaging stories, vibrant animations, catchy songs, educational session, and unforgettable moments.
She sells seashells at the seashore. Hey!
We inspire and empower young minds as we develop important life skills while having a blast. Join us every Saturday on your favorite channel from 9:30 a.m. as we have an amazing time. Don't miss out.
Experience a journey of spiritual elevation and immerse yourself in the most uplifting worship moments. Watch the best of worship culmination every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. It's an awe-inspiring event featuring anointed worshippers and going beyond the studio to connect with young souls eager to embrace the divine presence in educational institutions. Get ready to elevate your spirit and embrace the true essence of worship with Maria Omondi and her incredible team of worshippers.
Usimis kwenda mbinguni. Madhuiti na makeki. This is serious.
Doctrines continue to differ.
So let everybody examine their doctrine.
Debates are on the rise.
Sodom, this was the same thing that is happening today.
And the information is plenty.
People go to the wrong sources expecting to get the right answers.
Amidst all these, what is the truth?
This judgment is not based on sin.
The Bible is clear, and there is an answer for every query. Ask the Ministers of God show every Saturday, 8:30 p.m.
In a world filled with secrets, betrayals, and unexpected twists, two sisters are about to collide in ways they never imagined, lighting a fire that will shake their lives to the core. And now, there's the old cycle of pain and betrayal. Yet, a new challenge is at hand. Join Hadassah on a journey of redeeming her destiny every Sunday at 7:30 p.m.
The Virtuous Woman Show brings to you authentic stories from all women of all walks of life.
You start going to the bar to watch football.
Yes.
And it started just as going to watch football.
No, I was intentional.
Why do you want to kill these babies? And I'm looking at him and I'm asking, what babies?
Through their experiences, we are able to enlighten and encourage each other.
He strangled me, pushed me to the ground, and the first thing he asked for was my M-Pesa PIN.
He proposed, and that's when I said,
People will come to understanding and knowledge that this one, she's not just she's a called woman.
Catch the Virtuous Woman Show every Sunday from 6 p.m. with Sheila Juma.
Marriage is not a mark, nor is singlehood a mark of incompleteness. Most people look forward to married life, but when is the right time to start a relationship?
The two shall become one, isn't it? A man should not do this, a woman should not do this, I would say, unless it is a function. These others can be negotiated.
Marriages are meant for us to enjoy and not endure one another.
For better, for worse. That is what we call an affirmative covenant. You know, are we showing fidelity?
Don't miss the marriage classroom to learn more about relationships and marriage.
Relations in a relationship that is not yet in, joined together, you are not in marriage, is a no-no. It will never be right now, it will never be right tomorrow. It will never be okay, even in the future.
Every Sunday, only on MBCI TV.
All right, we're back after that very, very, very short break, and we're here so that we can go through some of the feedbacks ambazo mmetuma kutokana na the tega sikio that we've had. As I had said before, mliona ilikuwa a very short one, but very precise. And from that as well, najua it's something that you can learn from. All right? So we'll be going through very few feedbacks so that we can get into the topic of discussion today. We say that today we'll be talking about Mpox. Najua Mpox ni kitu imekuwa ikiongelewa sana. You know, everyone, in fact, jana, when we say there was a report that Mpox is not in Nakuru, some people were shocked, very shocked. And now today tutakuwa tukipewa the right statistics and also just to get to know Mpox ni nini. So any question that you have on that, please feel free, you can ask, and then we'll be getting the answers from our Dr. Elizabeth Kipto. For now, we'll be getting to read some of the feedbacks kama mbili tatu hivi. Anasema hello Kahugu, hello. Anasema I have learned that it is good to become a role model to others, especially to teachers who are dealing with many human beings. Anaitwa Ben kutoka upande wa Rongai. Asante sana. So it's good to be a role model, and being a role model is you living right. Kwa sababu ukiangalia mwalimu hakujua ya kwamba anakuwa role model to this student. Alikuwa he was just a good person naturally. Alijua hataki kuona mtoto kama ni mwizi. So he was just a good person naturally. So it is up to you as well. Just be a good person. Have a good heart. It goes a long way, and God will bless you for that. Sawa, msome Matthew 5, yoyote. Blessed are the pure in hearts. So just have a good heart and you'll see the fruits later. Sawa sawa? Anasema hashtag tega sikio. Team Raushwa, I have learned that si poa ku-expose weaknesses za wenzetu. Correct in love. Anaitwa Esther Obra kutoka Kisumu. That's amazing, yeah, for sure. Correct in love, because sometimes you want to shout and make sure that kila mtu amesikia that you are wrong. Unaweza kuwa unajua weaknesses ya mtu ama weakness ya mtu, but as much as unaijua, usifanye kweni kama ni big deal. Ati yeye huyu ninajua hata anakuanga na weakness fulani. Hapana. Make sure that as much as unajua weakness ya mtu, even if you want to correct her or him, you're correcting them in love. Don't shout. Usiambie kila mtu ati ajue huyu anakuwa na shida fulani, huyu anakuwa na shida fulani. Hapana. Make sure that you correct in love. Anasema good morning. Yes, anasema good morning to you too. Anasema nimebarikiwa na ujumbe wa leo. Anasema from today's Tega Sikio, I have learned that it is it's good to correct people, but don't correct them publicly. Yes, asante sana. God bless you. So tutakuwa tukimalizia hapo for today on the Tega Sikio, on matters Tega Sikio, but I know we'll be having some time later. So kama sijasoma ujumbe wako, bado tutasoma. So don't worry. All right? We'll read them later. So for now, we'll be getting into the topic of discussion. As I had said before, today we are talking about Mpox. And Mpox is a discussion yenye imeongelewa sana of late. Sana, sana, sana. And to clear the air, today we are having Elizabeth Kipto, who's the Director of Public Health and Sanitation, Department of Health Services in Nakuru County. And she has all the answers that you need in matters Mpox. So any question that you have, feel free, so that usikuwe nashutuliwa na watu wakisema stories za Mpox huko mtaani, and hata wao surely hawajui ni nini hiyo. All right? So today, any question that you have, please feel free. Our numbers ni zile 0721 105 on WhatsApp, 23814. Our SMS code, which is absolutely free. And of course, you're live on Facebook on MBCI TV. And we are live on YouTube on MBCI TV official YouTube page. Hello. Hi. How are you? Fine. Karibu sana. You well? Yes. Ah, amazing. Hospitalini kukwaje?
Kuko kuzuri.
Endelea
vizuri.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. So leo tutakuwa tukiongelea mambo ya Mpox. But hata before tufike hapo, please introduce yourself. It's your first time on MBCI, right?
Yes.
Yes. So please introduce yourself so that our family may know you, know what you do, and then we get into the discussion.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Kipto. I'm the County Director for Public Health and Sanitation in Nakuru County.
Amazing. Now, history ya Mpox imekuwa ni story sana. And some people wanasema, utatuambia kama ni ukweli ama ni myths. Ati hii ni kama COVID ingine. Watu mpaka wanawekwa isolation peke yao. So maybe for a start, Mpox ni nini?
Yeah, Mpox is a viral disease. It is caused by a virus, and it is transmitted. It is a zoonotic, and when we say it is a zoonotic disease, it means it can be transmitted from animals to humans, and even from humans to animals.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is viral disease, just like COVID-19. COVID-19 is also a viral disease.
Okay.
And naturally, viral infections or viral diseases are highly infectious. They are highly infectious.
Okay.
So both of them are actually viral diseases.
All right. Oh, so that is why people are saying, hey, ni kama COVID, because they are both viruses.
Yeah, they are viruses, but different viruses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you've said that it can be transmitted from persons to animals or animals to persons because it's a zoonotic.
Yes.
Nitakuwa daktari by the time namaliza hii show. Zoonotic disease, right?
Yes.
So where ilianzaje? Where is it from? Because I would say it's not something that we knew before. Yeah. So what's the genesis of this Mpox?
Yeah. It actually originated from Central Africa.
Okay.
And it is actually accelerated by, I think, by socio-cultural issues. The people in that part of the globe, they hunt and eat monkeys.
Okay.
And that is how they get interacted with these animals, and that's how they get the infection from these animals.
Okay.
So once it comes to humans, then it is able to be transmitted from one person to another.
Okay.
Yeah, through contact.
Oh, through contact.
Yeah.
Is there any other way isipokuwa the contact? So contact ni kuguza.
Kuguza,
Ukiguza mtu mwenye ako nayo.
Mwenye ako nayo.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that the only way that is transmitted?
Yeah, to some extent it is also transmitted through a droplet.
Okay.
Because one of the symptoms is like you cough, sore throat, and so you can expel the viruses through droplet infection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you've mentioned that, let's go to the symptoms. Ukitaka kujua mtu ako na Mpox.
Yes.
What are the symptoms?
One of the symptoms is a rash, and a rash that is raised from the skin, and it is known as a maculopapular rash.
Okay.
There is fever, there is sore throat, and then the swollen lymph nodes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so okay, explain the rash. Rash si zile kidogo kama umesema imeinuka kidogo. So inakaa pimples.
Yeah, imeinuka na ukiona iko na maji na uzaa.
Okay.
Na ni kubwa kiasi.
Okay.
Yes.
How about the lymph nodes?
The lymph nodes inakuwa swollen.
Okay.
Yeah, inakuwa swollen because you see when the body is fighting an infection, then the white blood cells inakuwa zenye zina maybe kwa lay language zenye zinakufa sababu ya kufa fight, ndio inarudi inakuja kwa lymph nodes, ndio maana zina swell.
Okay. And is there any other disease yenye iko na almost the same symptoms such that mtu anaweza confuse? You'd think it's Mpox, especially now that kila mtu anaongelea Mpox. You'd think it's Mpox, but it's not. Is there any other disease and how can you differentiate?
Yeah, mara mingi unakuta watu wanasema labda ni chickenpox. So kuna chickenpox ambayo pia ni viral, but sio very infectious kama Mpox. Yeah.
Okay.
So because nayo iko na rashes, but rashes yake ni tofauti kidogo, iko chini, haijakuwa raised sana.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's talk about Mpox in Kenya. Tumekuwa tukisikia kuna case moja imepatikana mahali, kuna another case but wana investigate na yuko in isolation. So tuko wapi as Kenya in terms of Mpox?
Yeah, according to the situation reports we get from the national level on daily basis, a total of 5 cases have been reported in the entire country.
Okay.
And out of the 5 cases, 1 is from Nakuru County. So the case that we have in Nakuru is a male who is that's 7 years old, and is actually a truck driver who had traveled from Rwanda on 20th, and actually he was so he got sick when he was already in Mombasa. So he traveled on 20th, then started showing symptoms on 23rd. So again, on his way back to Rwanda, he fell sick within Nakuru along the highway. Then he called the Public Health Emergency Operations Center that he was sick, he's unable to continue with his journey, and he thought that he had Mpox. He's actually the one who told us he could be having Mpox.
Okay.
So we sent an ambulance to evacuate him to our Nakuru County Teaching and Referral Hospital Isolation Center.
Okay.
Yes.
So, all right. So we have one case in Nakuru.
Yes, we have.
As you've explained.
Yes.
So mtu ukijipata uko na Mpox, you said he was taken for isolation. So what are the steps to take after, apart from isolation, as you've said, ukijipata uko na Mpox? So what's next? Is that it for you, or what do you do after that?
Yeah, we are actually encouraging the members of the public, if they see someone, or if they develop, or they themselves develop a rash, fever, sore throat, or swollen lymph nodes, they should actually visit the nearest health facility, or they call our Public Health Emergency Operations Center numbers, which I think, can I share? Is 0799 032 032.
Okay.
0799 032 032.
All right, perfect. I know we'll be giving it again at the end, so that anyone who would want to take note of it, ataweza kuiandika. So they can call that number.
Yeah, they can call that number.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to take care of ourselves, taking an example of COVID-19, vile watu waliambiwa, make sure mnaosha mikono, make sure that you have your mask on. Is there anything that the public can do to make sure that they don't get the Mpox?
Yeah, so one of the things that we need the public to know is that they should actually be able to recognize and inform us that they could be having Mpox, or someone has Mpox. So by reporting to us, we'll actually be able to put interventions in place by ensuring that that person is actually isolated from other people, to avoid transmission to other people. Then secondly, we are also asking them to, because one of the modes of transmission is through contact. You either touch somebody who is infected, or you touch contaminated objects like manguo, towels. So we are asking them to ensure that they don't come into contact with anybody that could be having Mpox. And then, as you said, we should actually perform hand hygiene, regular hand hygiene, by use of water and soap, or they can use the sanitizers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And masks?
Yeah, if they are, masks are also very important. So if they have somebody who could be having Mpox, then one of the methods of protecting themselves is by putting on masks.
Okay, but I love what you said as the first precaution is to be able to know what Mpox is like.
Yes.
Yeah. So that when you see someone who's having Mpox, or someone who's having symptoms of Mpox, you can just tell them to go get checked kwanza, and then take care of yourself, because that's the first thing, right? Now, do you have vaccines for Mpox, or what is the treatment for Mpox?
Yeah, currently we actually do not have a vaccination for Mpox, and because it is a viral disease, usually viral diseases does not have specific treatment. So, but treatment is basically treating the symptoms. If you have fever, fever is managed. You have rashes, the rashes are managed. Yeah.
Okay. So what to say is that I remember, I know I'll keep going back. I don't know if it's right. I keep going back to COVID because it's also a virus.
Yes.
And I know most of the people when I relate na hiyo. So ukirealize uko na symptoms za Mpox, uko na Mpox, na tumekuja hospitalini and it's confirmed that this is a case of Mpox, and now we're treating the symptoms. I know most of the Kenyans akisikia hivyo, they feel like wanaambiwa hapana, sasa that's it. There's no treatment. Would you say that by treating the symptoms, you will get well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Perfecto. So there is hope there. All right. Now, who are the people who are at risk sana of getting the Mpox virus?
Yeah, when everybody's at risk, but the people who are at high risk of getting the Mpox is children, the children basically.
Okay.
Why? Their immunity is a little bit lower compared to the other people.
Yeah.
And the pregnant mothers, same to pregnant mothers, because the immunity is low.
Okay.
Then we also have those people living with HIV because of immunity again. The immunity is low.
Okay.
And then we also have the people who have multiple sex partners, because it can also be transmitted sexually.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now, we've known about sensitization and telling people about Mpox. And as we started, we said that many people really don't know about Mpox, and you have very many myths and misconceptions about Mpox. So maybe as the public health, what are you doing about it, and is there need to raise more awareness about it?
Yes, there is need. What we've done is that we are working with the stakeholders. First, as the Department of Health, we've actually sensitized all our community health promoters, and we have a network of 3,800 CHPs.
Wow.
So these CHPs are moving from house to house, sensitizing the households on preventive measures, and then they also assisting us to detect suspected cases within the households if they are there and report to us. They have also created networks with the community so that if the community sees anything that is not normal within the household, then they report to them and then they report to us. Then we are working in collaboration with media, like what we are doing with you currently, so that we also create awareness through media. And for tomorrow, as a Department of Health, we will be doing sensitization of the journalists so that they get to know and help us create awareness so that we can reach the masses. Yes.
Perfect, perfect. That's a good way to do it. So this is also to tell the public that now that you know, you're listening and you know about Mpox, so it's also very important for you to share the information with other people. And take care of the kids, as you've said, the kids, the immunity go chini kidogo, and the pregnant ladies. So now that you know about it, please share about it. Now, what are the long-term effects of having Mpox? Do they have some long-term effects that you'll see maybe even after they're well? Someone who's having Mpox, maybe after they're well, they'll still remain with some effects of Mpox? Is there something like that?
Yeah, it has actually never been documented.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the first time that Mpox is actually coming in any part of the world?
No, it is not the first time. It is not the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Now, as the public, I know that we've talked about things that we are supposed to do to make sure that we do not get in contact with people when you work on an Mpox. Now, you've told us that it is a virus, yeah? So kama uko pale nyumbani na mtu anashuku akona Mpox, but hajaanza kuona, you know, Kenyans mpaka kuwe mgonjwa kabisa ndio unapiga simu. So probably they've not started seeing the effects on the skin, but wana feeling kama kona homa and all that. Would you encourage them to take meds for homa, ama any slight symptom, they should come to the healthcare facilities?
Yeah, we are actually not encouraging self-medication, but we are encouraging the members of the public to actually go to the facilities so that they are seen and given the right medication.
Okay.
Yes.
So anything kidogo, make sure umeenda hospitalini.
Yes.
Okay. Sasa watu wa kukanga pale nyumbani unaji self-medicate. This is for you. Make sure that you go to hospital and make sure that you get checked. Wow, so ninaona we have some questions in regard to Mpox, and as we said before, I know that Mpox imekuwa something that people are really asking about, and you have myths, you have misconceptions. Kila mtu anasema vile anataka about Mpox, but I know that you're going to be getting clarifications. Anasema, hi Rachel, hello. Anasema, uliza doc atupe the difference between Mpox na chickenpox. Thanks. All right. So anasema, what is the difference between Mpox and chickenpox?
Yeah, the difference, I said, if you look at the rashes as a result of Mpox, they are raised. Ni kubwa kidogo, iko juu na iko na maji maji. Alafu we also have swollen lymph nodes yenye yani inakuwa imefura kiasi.
Na lymph nodes ni hizi za huku?
Inakuweza kuwa huku, yeah. Yes.
All right. Now, Mpox, no, chickenpox. Is it also a virus?
Yeah, it is virus.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Because inakaa almost the same, and I know that is why people are asking. Anasema, okay, let me check huyu kwanza. Anasema, good morning. Good morning. Anasema, anasema, hi Kahugu, hi. How do you know if it's truly Mpox that you have? Okay, I think we've already answered that.
Yeah, but maybe in addition to that, for us to confirm that it is real Mpox, we actually have to confirm through the lab. Okay. We collect the samples, send them to the National Public Health Laboratories, then they test. So we cannot just do it clinically, but we have to confirm through the lab.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even with the symptoms, lazima pia ikue confirmed.
Ikue confirmed by the lab.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a possibility or probability of having a vaccination for the Mpox? Is that something that the public health, or rather the health sector, is working on?
Yeah, it is possible. Okay. It is possible.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfecto. Annalisa, what are the long-term effects for those who have Mpox, and can they recover?
Yeah, they can recover.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the 5 cases that have been reported in Kenya, some of the patients have actually been discharged because they have recovered.
True.
Like our case is actually on the road to recovery, and so it is.
It's possible.
It is possible.
Yeah, for sure. And after you've realized that there's someone who has Mpox, do you get to maybe test or take a look at the people who maybe his family, his friends, or people who got in contact with him before you found out the case?
Yeah. So because Mpox, as I said earlier, can be transmitted from one person to the other. So if you come into contact, then you're likely to be infected.
Yeah.
And the incubation period is basically that period from the time you get exposed to the virus up to the time you show the signs and symptoms. That incubation period is between 5 and 21 days.
Okay. Oh,
So
21,
if you had Mpox and I come into contact with you, I can even stay up to 21 days with it before I show the symptoms.
Yeah.
So and one of the control measures is quarantine. So and quarantine takes about 21 days for us to observe you. If you do not develop any symptoms within 21 days, then you're free. You might have not gotten the virus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're in contact with someone who has the Mpox, utakuwa for isolation for 21 days.
Quarantine.
Quarantine.
Yeah, those who do not have symptoms is quarantine, just to observe you. And the quarantine is, we are advising members of the public that if you come into contact, then you need to do self-quarantine. You quarantine yourself probably in your house. You ensure that you do not come into contact with other people. And we monitor you. Yeah.
All right.
But for the patients, is isolation.
Okay.
But quarantine is for
so
the...
quarantine ni ile yako ya to make sure that...
yeah, when you have no symptoms.
Okay. But if you have the symptoms, isolation.
Yeah, and maybe the other thing that I would want to mention is that you only transmit the disease after you've shown the symptoms. After you've shown the symptoms, yeah.
So during the incubation period, you cannot transmit the disease to someone else?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what would be your parting shot in terms of Mpox, and what would you want to tell the public? Maybe something that they do not know about, or something that they should know about in regards Mpox.
Yeah, I want to inform them that let's be on high alert, so that you're able to recognize that you either have, you're suspecting yourself to be having Mpox or someone else. So you should be able to recognize by checking whether you have a rash, fever, sore throat, and swollen lymph nodes. Then you need to report or present yourself to the health facility. Then to protect yourself from getting Mpox, ensure that you do not come into contact with anybody who could be having Mpox by just seeing the symptoms. Let's perform hand hygiene and let's report. So please, if you have anything to report on, you can report on 0799 032 032, 0799 032 032.
All right, so 0799 032 032.
Yes.
That's the number that you can call if you have anything to tell the healthcare about Mpox. And of course, I know the number will be on our screens in a very short while. Make sure that you save the number on your phones. It will be very, very, very important for you. Now, maybe as we wind up, what is the role of the family members to a person who have Mpox? Is there something they're supposed to do? Is there a way they're supposed to take care of him, or what rather are they supposed to do?
Yeah, when the first thing is to recognize that that person has Mpox or suspecting to be having Mpox. So they should actually take that person to the nearest health facility. And then they should also be able to tell us the contacts. If there are people that would have come into contact with that person, then they should tell us so that we monitor them. And by so doing, we'll be able to interrupt transmission.
Okay. Perfecto. Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Elizabeth. We do really appreciate. And please, this is to remind each and everyone that ile yenye mliacha kuosha mikono and mkacha kuvaa mask and people are getting extremely too comfortable, I would say that was a good behavior because again it was being clean, all of us. Sawa sawa. So make sure you go back to that. If you're suspecting any person akona Mpox, make sure that you call that number and it will be very, very important. Sawa sawa. So thank you so much once again, Doc.
Thank you.
Please repeat the number for anyone who would want to call.
Yeah, 0799 032 032. 0799 032 032.
Okay. I see there's a question here. Our director is asking, Mpox, does it kill? Is it a killer disease?
Yeah, yes, it can kill. And we are told it can kill, especially if people do not come for treatment on time.
Okay. Oh, if people don't come for treatment on time.
Yes.
So if anyone suspects that they have Mpox, it's very important for them to come on time.
Yes.
Okay. So sikae nyumbani ukijitreat alafu uende hospitali later. Make sure that you go on time. Sawa sawa? So thank you so much also for listening, and thank you so much for coming. I know that you've gotten this topic about Mpox. It was something that kila mtu alikuwa akiongelea, and you've had so many theories about what Mpox is, ilitoka wapi. So wachana na hizo zingine zote. This is the actual truth. So follow what you've said right here, and if you have any question, make sure that you can call and you ask. For that, for the number that you've given, can people call to ask questions about Mpox?
Yes, they can call.
The same number?
That's actually the number that is in our Public Health Emergency Operations Center.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. So call that number if you need to ask anything or report anything about Mpox. So thank you so much. Now we'll be going for a very short break. As we come back, we'll be coming back, of course, with some music, but also to read some of the feedbacks ambazo mmetuma for now and for the Tega Secure that we've had, and it's going to be really amazing. So a very short break, and then we'll be coming right back. Usiende mbali, we've had Dr. Elizabeth Kipto, and she is the Director of Public Health and Sanitation Department of Health Services in Nakuru County. God bless you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. A very short break, and then we're coming right back.
Thank you.